The general definition of democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But in this part of the world, people are beginning to question if indeed those we have elected to represent us are actually serving the interests of Nigerians. It is on that note that I welcome you to another edition of The Pendulum, our weekly political program on Lagos television. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. Before we go into the basis of our conversation on the program this evening, we'll be taking a very short break on the show to bring you some of the trending news in the polity. We'll be right back. In case you just joined us, you're watching The Pendulum on Lagos television. Like I did say before that break, we'll be focusing essentially on what democracy is, in particular, representative democracy and the state of the polity. And we have somebody joining us, the man representing the people of Alimosho Constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly, is equally the Chairman House Committee on Public Accounts State. Is no other than Honorable Kende Joseph. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, let's start from the definition that I gave at the beginning of the program, which is democracy being the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So when you narrow that down to the topic that we intend to discuss on the program today, representative democracy, and by virtue of what had been the focus on the National Assembly of late regarding their take-home pay, if indeed they are representing the people, and of course various state houses of assemblies, would you say that indeed democracy is actually for the people, by the people?
Thank you very much. Like you rightly said, when you're talking about the democracy, it means representation, especially when it comes to the part of the legislation. I'm talking about the legislators. If you are there to represent your people. You know, like myself, I use myself as a typical example from Alimosho constituency, Hotu. We have lots of people, several thousands of people that I'm representing them. It's not possible for all of them to come and sit at the state assembly. So that is why they come together to elect someone to come and represent them. And that is the job of a legislator. We are there to represent. And when you are even talking about the National Assembly, we have representatives from all the federal constituencies that we have in Nigeria. Some have two, some have one, and they are there to represent their job. Being on that seat means you are representing people. So you are not there to represent yourself or your family. So, and that is what democracy are for.
So that's why the coinage of representative democracy came from.
Yes.
Okay, but looking at the state of our polity, the situation in the country, there are challenges here and there. Earlier today or over the weekend, people have actually complained about the long queues that we are beginning to see again, and the fact that people are barely surviving. They can hardly feed, their take home can hardly take them home. A number of challenges that we can just mention here and there. Would you say that those that we have elected are catering for our interests, or they are representing themselves? Because there's a big disparity between the living standards of those we have elected and the people that they are representing.
Well, I don't believe that there is a big disparity between the people that are representing and those that are representing them. Personally, I don't believe in that. It depends on how you feel it. Firstly, let us look at how we started, then where we are now.
In 1999?
Yes, in 1999 till now. This thing, even when I was a kid, when I was very young, in this country called Nigeria, we have witnessed a lot of queue. I'm talking about the petrol filling stations queue. Most of all these challenges we are facing now has been there since. I'm talking far back as 1983, 84, you know, maybe, I don't know if you can still remember the issue of Kai.
Does that make it normal?
No, that is what I'm trying to say. That is the challenges we are facing. I personally am not against protest. I'm also a product of protest, because during the June 12th, we are there trying to fight for democracy, that the annulment must not stand. But to God be the glory, we are there now. I always like people to talk. Like a Yoruba adage that used to say that if you're having a cutting of your head, is that the solution to a headache? No, that is not the solution to the headache. What we just need to do is that we need to give time, especially this government that we are now. It's just over 14, probably 14 months that we started this government. What matters most as a government is policies. The policies they are formulating. Is it a very good policies? And when we want to formulate, when we are formulating, the job of the government, especially the executive, including the legislative arms, is to formulate policies and also to make laws. And to make laws that will be very conducive for the governing of the people. And that is what this government are doing. Majority of the people always look at the politicians that they are the major problems of this country, which is not. Majority of the people, when you want to criticize, they always criticize politicians. I'm not saying some of the politicians are not corrupt, but not only the politicians. The same thing, the public office holders. Are you telling me that it's only the elected officers that are the only public office holders that we're having in this country? So we have to look in deep. How are we going to correct this thing? These governments are formulating policies. That is the job of the government. And when you formulate policies, it takes time before you start seeing the results. And believe me or not, if you are going to fight corruption all over the world, you must be ready for it. Corruption will surely fight back. And those are things that we are facing. When we are talking about all this, the dollar rate to naira now, look at the disparity, a very big one. It shows these are the real money we are having. I read recently that the former CBN governor used 18 billion to print 1 billion naira. Look at all those money. Do you know where they can put those things? And when we are talking about the protest, some of the challenges we are facing, the last answers that we had in Lagos State, the collateral damage are still there. Most of all the infrastructures damage, they are still there. Recently, the deputy governor granted an interview, and he said at our public works corporation, they brought a machine. That machine can lay bricks for at least within 1 hour. It can lay some kilometers of roads. And they bought it $40 million. The money is.
Honorable Joseph, fine. It was bought with a sum of $14 million.
Yes.
The taxpayers.
And got burnt. Yes.
The taxpayers' money. Quite unfortunate for Nigeria. Quite unfortunate for Lagos. But what I'm saying now is this: when people elect people to represent them, and they see that they seem not to be in tune with the reality over time. The other time I cited an example of a senator representing Kano, and he said he granted an interview, and he said his take-home pay is 21 million naira monthly. And here we have people who can barely feed. All they just need is 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira. And they kept telling the people, the masses, to tighten their belts, contrary to what the political class are enjoying.
Sincerely speaking, when I heard that story of the man that said his take-home pay monthly is 21 million, I called some of the senators and some of the House of Representatives over there that what this man just said, is it true? And they denied it, because I'm surprised that for someone to be taking 21 million naira in this part of the country with the situation of things, that's a very big money, which I don't personally. Because
Senator
I'm a legislator.
Shehu who was a member of the 8th or the 9th Assembly, equally said when he was there, he was getting 14 million naira.
And so those are
so even if he's getting 14 million naira now, is that not a huge gap?
That is what I'm saying. We are saying the same thing. It's a very huge gap. I don't expect you. How could you say you are collecting 14 million naira per month? I'm a state legislator, so I know the amount we are being collected every month, and I know. And some of those challenges
is it that much?
How could we? We cannot even get 10% of that amount here. So that is the way it operates in Lagos State. And you know the Lagos State. Whenever you want to do things, you must at least. I'm not saying we are perfect. We are a bit transparent to some level. Most of all this money that's being given to the legislators, apart from the salary or some of the remuneration we are talking about, to us at the Lagos State House of Assembly, we always make sure that it's very good to take care of the legislators, but notwithstanding, you must view, at least try to weigh it with what is happening in your country. So once you are at the Lagos State House of Assembly, you can't believe it, up till now, we don't even have yet to get any official card. It's not that we can't get it, but we just believe that the primary things that we are having now is how to make sure that our people are happy. And that is most of the time when we have some of the laws being passed in the Lagos State House of Assembly, we always make sure that we put the people first. And that is why most of the time we always go out as a legislator to see the to do the oversight functions. If you look at the law, recently some people are saying they should change the 1999 Constitution. I personally don't believe that that is not the problem of this country.
What do you think should be the solution to that? Because the Patriot, like you rightly said, visited Mr. President, and they are demanding for a new constitution, saying that the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of the country, as amended, is faulty and is not taking care of all the various ethnic groups, religious bodies, and different interests that we have in the country.
There is no perfect constitution in anywhere in the world. But even this one that we're having, have we been able to manage it as we're supposed to manage it?
They said it's from the military.
It doesn't matter. When we are saying it's from the military, they have uttered it several times. It has been uttered so several times. And even this one that we're having, look at, when we are talking, most of the other countries that we got this our democracy from, how many anti-graft agencies do they have? If I, as a legislator, do the needful, if they are there in Schedule 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you follow all those things to the latter. You make sure that you do you check the exercise of the executives, and judiciary are there to make sure that whosoever that they interpret the law accordingly. Most of all these things, we don't even need any other agency or any other anti-graft agency to know that if you are found guilty of corruption, you should be jailed. This one that we're having, let's also use it. Let's manage it. Let's make sure that it functions. I'm telling one of the council chairmen recently.
Okay, but before you tell us what you discussed with the council chairman recently, we'll be taking a very quick break on the program at this moment to bring you the soundbite of the week. Stay with us.
We have worked hard over the past year to strengthen all the anti-corruption agencies in Nigeria by not interfering in their activities and ensuring that they are adequately funded. We have also encouraged them to operate within the ambit of the law. This is a template which I recommend to other states within the region.
All right, that was the soundbite of the week. We still have in the studio Honorable Kende Joseph, representing the people of Alimosho Constituency 2 in the Lagos State House of Assembly. So before that break, you wanted to tell us about your discussion with a particular local government chairman.
Yes, so it's a friend of mine. So we are not discussing. Don't forget that we are trying. I'm trying to. We are talking about the 1999 Constitution. That I believe that our problem is not about the Constitution. Even the Constitution that we are having, how far have we been able to allow it to function optimal? Now, when I met that chairman, I'm not telling him that, look, we need to collaborate, federal, state, and local government. It's good for us to build new roads, but even the one that has been built by the federal and the state, you can manage it. You can manage it. Some of the patching, maintain it. Some of, even to clear the drains and most of all those things. These are how government functions. It's not that because this one belongs to the federal government. If you leave the job that belongs to the federal government, that the federal government should come and do it, and you are the governor of the state, and you are the chairman of that local government, who are you punishing?
The people.
Is there not the people that are deciding in that local government? And if you want to collect tax or levies, are you not going to collect it from them? So it's better. The best thing for us is to collaborate all the governments. When I'm talking about governments, either the federal, state, and the local, we should collaborate with each other to make sure that we deliver that democracy for the people. When you are said if you said you are a big man, or you call yourself a rich man, out of 1,000 poor people, you are also a poor man. We reside within these people. We know what our people are facing. Things are very, very hard and very difficult. That for you to call yourself a legislator in your house, if you have any amount of money, you have no choice except those that are not residing with them. We live together, so we have no choice than to give out.
All right. Before we go this evening on the program, there was a particular item, news item now, trending this week, saying that there is likely to be food crisis because flood affected like 10 states, Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, and some medical students were also kidnapped recently. Food crisis, insecurity, these are some of the challenges affecting us, preventing us from being able to feed well, and of course, the challenges of doctors that we have in the medical profession. How do you think this can be tackled to restore the confidence of the people back?
Our major problem in this nation is insecurity. So we need to fight it first. So all hands must be on deck. Like the popular says in Lagos, the security people say, if you see something, say something. This is the time that every one of us must be a security person. We need to fish out these people. I don't believe they are from another space. They are people residing with us. You will be surprised recently, and we need one thing, at least to collaborate with the government, especially the journalists.
So what should be the way out of this food crisis and insecurity?
All of us must be security people to make sure that when we see something, let's say something. At times when we are young, even when we are young, we used to be they are doing it now. Most of the communities, are they not the vigilante of their communities? That's number one. We have to face that one. If we are able to do that one now, and I believe that the government itself needs to provide that conducive environment for them. At least if you don't provide that conducive environment for them to strive, so how do you expect them to have the good results that they are looking for? So the government needs to provide that environment. And at the same time, on the issue of flood
crisis,
the food flood, yes, which has to do with the flood, I believe that the government, you know, we have said the time without number. That is in some or in the other same western states, they don't talk about flood again. They talk about irrigation. How are you going to manage these small resources that we are having in this? So those are some of those things that we need to work on to make sure that those challenges that those people are facing, government should please come to the aid. When I'm saying government, it's not necessary that it should be federal government. The local government can also do it. So even the community people, they can come together and make sure that they face that challenges and face it out. You will be seeing some people will be taking refuse, waste, and be dumping it inside the drain. So inside the drainage, what do you expect? Those are some of those challenges that we are facing. But major challenges that has to do with food crisis has to do with security. Our people cannot go to farm again. I have a farm. I can't go there because I don't want to be kidnapped for going to farm alone in Ogun State here. For you going to that farm, who is going to rescue? Even if you are rescued, can the collateral damage that they will be giving you, do you think it will go? You can it's like when someone offends you greatly, you can forgive, but you can't forget. And those are some of those challenges that our people are facing. The collateral damages that those people are doing to them in the farm is something that nobody will like to pray for, even his enemies. So I'm using this opportunity to even plead with whosoever that are doing, those people that are doing it, they should please come to the round table. You know, the president said that he's available for dialogue. They should come, whatever they believe that the challenges that they are facing. We have had such issues before during the issues of the militancy in the Niger Delta, and they were able to stop it. So come on board. Let's discuss it and see what we can do, at least for every one of us to be at peace. So I'm pleading with them.
Okay, I know you're a member of the APC, and except I wanted to see myself, I wouldn't expect what your answer to my next question is going to be. Do you think Nigerians should still hold on to the renewed hope slogan of this present administration at the federal level?
Of course. You know, when I started, I told you that just 14 months. So if we are talking about just 14 months, allow him. And for the first time,
is a continuity.
Yes,
of President Muhammadu Buhari's government.
No. You can say
not the same APC.
Thank you very much. It's the same APC, but I'm talking about.
You campaign for him.
I'm talking about
telling us he was the best candidate.
You're 100% right. I'm telling you, this government is like myself. I'm twins. I'm different. My name is Kehinde. So I have a twin brother, which is Taiwo. We are not the same thing. We are not the same thing. They gave birth to us on the same day, but we are not the same thing. This is just 14 days. And for the first time in the history of Nigeria, this is the president that will always come out and tell you and continue to give you hope. I know what you people are facing. I know your challenges. This is what we are doing. This is what we are doing. Look at the number of policies that they roll out since the inception. No government, no president has ever done that since the inception of this country called Nigeria. And he's the only president that will continue to come out that I know what you people are facing. We are fighting it. Just trust in me. What else do we expect?
We trusted in Buhari too.
That is, it depends. But if we are talking, if
because
you want
the slogan of the APC then was change.
If you want to compare,
and that change never came.
Thank you very much. If you can't compare Buhari with Tinubu, how many times did Buhari ever come out and talk to you people that I know what people are facing? Trust me, wait for me, I will do this. But Ashwaju Tinubu will continue to come to you that I know what you people are facing.
So we should
just
believe in renewed
hope.
hope.
Let's give him time. Let's give him time. I believe by hopefully within 2 or 3 years, we get out of all this mess that we find ourselves. You know, it's not easy for everyone. It's not only the people, even those in government. The hits are damn too much for us that we are facing. Everybody will see you, want to challenge you in respect of it.
We have to go now. We must thank you very much. Honorable Kehinde Joseph, member Lagos State House of Assembly, representing the people of Alimosho Constituency 2, is equally the Chairman House Committee on Public Account State. He's been speaking to representative democracy and the state of our polity. He's giving us the assurance now, as a member of the APC, that we should hold on to that slogan of Mr. President, which is to renew our hope and make the country better. We'll see how things will pan out in a couple of months or years to come. We thank you very much for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
That's the Pendulum this week. We do thank you sincerely for being part of the show. We'll be back again next week talking politics as usual on the program. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. I'll see you then.
Well, a lot Mayor's show, right? And it's an opportunity for us to just depict what Lagos is all about.